Hi traders, welcome to our top-down analysis. So let us begin. We are beginning with VIX 100. Right. Okay, if we are to zoom in, we can clearly see that we have our supply zone right there. So that is where we have our supply zone. And then down here, we have our demand zone. So we have our demand zone right there. So our buyers from the weekly time frame, we can see that we are in a bullish trend as we are pushing from this demand zone headed to the supply zone. So this week, we are still looking for buying opportunities to the upside. And then if we go to the daily time frame, so from the daily time frame, price has been pushing from this demand zone, and we have our recent break of structure. So price is still breaking structures to the upside, indicating buyers are still in control of this market. So we have our break of structure there, and then the order block which caused the break of structure from the daily time frame, it's that order block. So we are just waiting for price to come back and retest that order block. And then that is it from the daily time frame. If we go to the 4 hours time frame, from the 4 hours, we just adjust our levels to the 4 hours time frame. That is our break of structure. And then from the 4 hours, that is our order block where we can expect price to come back and retest. And I can also see a break of structure there. So we have a break of structure there. And then the order block, it is there. So we have two order blocks that we can expect, because looking where price is at, it's still far from the order block down there, so it can still retrace from this order block. So we have a break of structure there. Price can still retrace from that order block. So we're just going to observe the price action in that order block, and then we'll make our decision. And then if we are to go to the 1 hour time frame, which is our entry time frame, we can adjust our break of structure. And then our order block, also to the 1 hour order block, it is going to be that order block right there. That is where our order block is going to be. And I'm seeing this order block clearly in the 1 hour. I can see that was the last break of structure. I am seeing this as liquidity. Therefore, I'm not going to mark this order block as my point of interest. Let me just go ahead and delete that because I'm seeing that as liquidity. That price has to clear to come and tap us into this order block. Therefore, I'm just going to mark this as my liquidity. That price has to sweep to come and tap into my order block. So I am waiting for price to come back and clear that low, that liquidity, and then tap us into the order block and continue pushing up. So this is what I'll be waiting for on VIX 100 1S this week. So I'm going ahead to place my buy limit. My entry level is going to be at that order block, and then my stop loss slightly below the last week rejection, and then my take profit is going to be at the swing high. So you can go ahead and place a buy limit on VIX 100 with your entry price at 814.27, your stop loss at 785.18, and our take profit at 933.66. Always apply proper risk management. So that's it. That's the move that we can expect to happen on VIX 100 this week. So this is the move I'll be observing to see if it plays out. So that's it for VIX 100. We have to go to volatility 101S. We can start by marking our key levels, which is the supply zone that I'm seeing here. And then we also have a resistance level there that is capable of sending price to the downside. And then down here, price has been finding support at this demand level. So we are working with these levels. That is where price is currently at. So my buyers for this week, I'm still looking for buying opportunities until price comes at that supply zone and gives me reversal signs that it's ready to reverse, and then I'll look for selling opportunities. But until then, the buyers are still pretty much in control, and we'll see what happens if the buyers will break this level and continue to the other key level, or the sellers will step in and drive the price back at this demand zone. But for now, my bias is still bullish. My bias is still bullish. So let's see from the daily time frame. We have the most recent break of structure right there. So we have a break of structure. So we have a break of structure, and then the order block, which caused that break of structure. It's that one where price stepped in and it's pushing to the upside. It's pushing to the upside, and price is not yet at that resistance. Therefore, we'll only decide to sell when we see price giving a selling signs, but as of now, price is still pushing and we are not at that resistance level. And then we can see price is reacting at this order block. Price is just reacted from this order block and it's pushing up from here. That was the break of structure. Now you can see a resistance is forming up here. Price is kind of ranging. Price is kind of ranging between this support and the resistance level. Let's see, we have a break of structure there. Let me just remove that resistance level for now. All right. So we have a break of structure. We have a break of structure there. The break of structure and then the other block, which caused that break of structure, is right there and it's looking like price is coming back for a retest at that level. So that is where I'll be strategically positioning for a buying position on VIX 101S. We go to my entry time frame, which is the 1 hour. From the 1 hour, we can adjust. We can adjust the break of structure. That is the break of structure. And then the other block, which caused that break of structure from the 1 hour, it is that one. So that is where I'm strategically positioning for my buying position as all my confluences are present. And I'm seeing this as the liquidity that price has to clear to come and take me into my order block there. And for the take profit, we are going to be using that swing high. So that's it. That's it from VIX 100. So I'm waiting for price to come back and retest this level because we have broken a resistance area here. And then to continue pushing up. So this is a move that we can expect on VIX 100. So let me go ahead to the 4 hour and place my buy limit. And place my buy limit. My PC just froze. Okay. Right. So we can have a buy limit on VIX 101S as well. Stop loss slightly below the last week rejection. So we can go ahead and enter because all my levels are not present, are not visible on the H1, I will go ahead and use the daily time frame. So go ahead and place a buy limit on volatility 100 with your entry price at 1031.04 with your stop loss at 1005.69, and then you take profit at 1141.19. So that is how I'm going to strategically position for a position on VIX 100 1S. As all my confluences are intact. First of all, we have a break of structure, and then we have an unmitigated order block. We have liquidity that is forming here. This equal lows that are forming here, I'm seeing that as liquidity for price to clear, to come and tap us into here, and then we can push to the upside. All right, traders, that's how I do my weekly top-down analysis. If you did get something out of this episode, do consider subscribing to the channel and become part of the family, and happy trading. See you next week.